Can I have a motion
Linda.
to
No,
call
thank
the
you.
meeting to order?
Yeah, I'm full. Second.
No, I can't.
Oh,
Somebody
wait a
has to make
second,
motion.
call the meeting to order, okay.
Who
Second.
first?
Thank you.
Okay.
And what time is it? It's 9:31?
9:31.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right. Old business, update from the director, we have nothing from Nisha. But I can tell you the town report was submitted last Friday. I received a very lovely email from Rebecca saying a good job. So I feel, and I sent it to you
Yay.
guys with the whole thing.
Yes, and
Yes.
somehow, I'll check for it, but somehow in my conversations, the attachment disappeared, but hopefully it's sitting in my spam folder.
Oh, the whole attachment, yeah, I can,
But no
yeah,
rush.
okay.
Laurel, thank you for all the work you put in on
Yeah.
that
Yes,
town
wow.
Yeah,
report.
that was,
Wow.
not knowing how to do it.
I
Above
know.
and beyond.
Making it up as I went.
You've
Above and
been,
beyond.
it's as if you're taking and passing, COA Board Chair 101.
Yeah, I'm
Thank
learning
you.
as we go, but this is the last I'm ever doing this, so we better get a director in place.
I know, you do.
Grants, I sent you the information, the formula grant has been increased based on the 2020 census, effective October 25th. We just found out from the town.
October 25th, 2022?
So that money is in our coffers right now to be used by the, till the end of June. I just asked, Nisha if it's a use it or lose it type thing, and she said no, according to, and we have to check with Adam Frank, but according to what she heard, we can roll it over. I thought that was a one-time deal, because of COVID, this current year, we rolled over 3,000 something or whatever it was. We have to check that out, so we'll check that over, with Adam Frank, she said. And that's not something we have to do this week.
Right.
Please.
Right.
I passed out the budget, the cover letter. I don't know if you just wanna take time to look at it. I do need help with the cover letter for the end. I kinda got lost at midnight last night going, I don't know what are our goals? I mean, I just,
I didn't get one.
you didn't get the big packet? Oh, I'm sorry, it's here.
What is the purpose of the cover letter?
That goes with the budget, so this is, okay, you have to send in this, and I couldn't figure it out on one page, I don't know how they do it. You have to send in your budget proposal, or, this is it, and then a cover letter that includes your mission statement, your goals, your reasonings behind all of these, figures. I have not had access to the ClearGov, website. Nisha gave me the password, I tried to do it the other day, I could not get in, so I don't know if she's been blocked out. From what I understand, Rebecca to say is I'm supposed to come with our budget and cover letter, and she will enter it into computer.gov, the official. So, I didn't even have a format to follow. So luckily I'm on the board of trustees of the library, and the director of the library sent us the budget to review and the cover letter. I'm like, oh, there's a cover letter? I spoke to her, she says, yeah, you have to do a cover letter. I'm like, okay. So I looked at hers and reviewed it, I copied her budget, put it on another form, save as, erased all the numbers, all the words, and put in ours. This is what I had. That's the only way I knew how to do it. I mean,
Wow.
I did not have this. It's not the thing you see on the town warrant. It just has 4 line items or 5. It has salaries, director,
Right.
so,
So gratitude to the director of the library for
Yes.
giving you a model.
yes. Well, I mean, I don't know if she knows that I'm gonna tell her that at my meeting tonight for that.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah, many hats
Oh,
today.
you are? You're
Oh, yeah.
meeting tonight for that?
Yes, we have a Zoom meeting at, 6 o'clock
Tonight?
I thought it was tonight.
Okay,
What, the selectmen?
No, the,
thank you.
library trustees,
Oh,
unless it's next week. I thought it was tonight. Anyway, so that's the update. I think if you all give me, look at this, if you have other suggestions. Nisha quickly looked at it, and she would like to see that the, her position be fully funded by the town. after our meeting with, Rebecca and the accountant, the money's just not there. So what we've done, oh, go ahead.
I think I remember at that meeting that Ellen said she did some number crunching on her computer, and she said if that happened, it would be an overall 14% increase to our budget.
Yes.
She said they just
Right.
won't.
And
August.
that percentages, I just couldn't really, so if you look at the second page, what we're doing, it's a new position, and that's something I think.
Wait a minute, a second page of
Of the
what?
proposal, it
Of
is
proposal one?
They're both the same, the second page is both the same, I just
Oh,
realized.
okay.
So, I think what we need to really, when we go to advocate for this, I'm trying to talk fast, advocate for this, budget, we need to say it's not giving Nisha the increase, it's a whole new position.
Right.
It's as if we're hiring somebody brand new. Nisha's not in the, don't think it's a Nisha getting a big raise, it's a new position. And I think we have to, oh, is somebody here waiting to get in? No, okay. So, and actually, it's not 7-1, she said it's 6/21,
You lift up on the handle.
up
Lift up, yes,
22.
Taping or?
yes.
Yes. Are you here for,
I just want to drop off some gift cards.
oh,
Oh, pantry,
pantry?
Yes.
thank you very, very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
$25.
Merry
Oh.
Christmas.
Merry
Would you like to
Christmas.
leave your name?
Yeah,
Sure,
yeah.
I can. Okay, I want, I'm sorry.
No, no, no.
No, thank
The
you so
pantry
much.
doesn't open till 10, so we're just having a meeting. Anyway, so what I thought is, we will be trying to increase the town's portion of Nisha's pay to 81%, that would be 30 hours a week. And then pay the remaining 19%, whatever it is, 7 hours a week from our grant money. Last year, we had a lot more coming out of 2 different grants, it was confusing, it was, you know. So it would total, and especially where we know we have the new grant at such a high rate, I think we can do that. The same thing for the outreach, we have increased hers by 3%. Or was it 2%, wait a minute, 2.5? No, 3%. I did work with Ellen on this, and she said 2.5 just doesn't figure out, so do it 3%. Because we want to attract somebody good for this job. 14 hours were paid by the town, the additional 2 hours paid by the grant money. So that comes out, you know, we don't have the figures here. Yep,
Is there any way to shut that off?
no, kid. Yes, go ahead.
Are we 100% sure that these numbers work out?
This is what, I don't know about the percentages.
Okay.
Well, so this first column is last year's.
Right, but then 24.
And that's why I'm asking,
Yeah, I
24
mean-
what? Yeah,
thousand. I just feel like $36 difference is not 3% increase. Did the hours change, or is it the same, is it the
it's
same
her,
number of
no, her
hours?
hour, okay, so I break down here.
And
This
are
is
we
what it should be.
changing the amounts by the
So,
grant? That's where I'm getting
Out,
confused.
okay, yes, so, do you understand the director, we gave her 2%, or the person, I
Yeah,
should say her.
yeah.
Okay, down to outreach, she's an hourly person, goes from $13,298 to $13,334.59 that the town would pay, at $18.32 an hour.
And the old rate was,
It's on my computer,
All right.
it was less. It was 2.5% less.
okay,
I have,
It was
On my-
15 something.
yeah, I don't know how to compute. So I have the sheet that like, Nisha shared with us, it says every week how much she's paid, so much from this, so much from that, do you remember that sheet? I have that for every single position here, at these figures. And it adds up at the end, you know, it says the $350 for this week from the grant, or when from town, and $35 from the grant. I could not get it to copy unless it was going to be 14 pages long. And I don't think you all wanna look through that. If you want, I'll bring my computer next time, I can't even convert it to this. I'm not a computer person, so I'm doing the best I can.
okay.
But I do need you to help me with this,
Yeah.
because this is, you know,
Because that just, it's, in my head, it's not looking right to me.
what
Can I
is
just
it?
ask
Yeah.
one question? But maybe it'll, I, just so that I understand it,
Oh, I know, I think I know.
the
Go ahead.
director salary is 100% paid by the town. Is that correct?
Correct.
With no grant money whatsoever,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
Okay. Under both proposals, the assistant director's salary, how much is paid by the town? What percentage, how much is paid by the town?
81%.
81% is
Okay, so
town.
this is something, okay, so the town pays 81%,
Okay,
30 hours at the rate of $32.05. Because we're.
3205?
32.05.
Okay. And then,
Because we're paying by grant, we have to do hers hourly.
right, okay, so
And the
seven,
grant is $9,160, which is 19% of the total. It's 7 hours at $25.16. It's a different pay. So
oh,
the town is, yes. This is what Ellen gave me, so I don't know, but it adds up, so really the town is probably paying a little bit more.
that's,
I have the figures, and if you'd like to, I can bring it on my computer, I don't know how to transform it.
Laura, is that what's currently happening or what we're
What's-
proposing to
This is our
happen?
proposal. What happened, I have the other one.
and what was the amount for the 7 hours a week? That just doesn't make sense to me.
7 hours is $9,160 a year,
At 25 what an hour? I'm sorry.
25.16.
Oh,
25.16.
Now, some of this, to let you know, they
25.16?
also take out a proportion
Sorry, I
of,
don't know how to open this door.
You mind if we take this stuff for the?
Oh, no, no, no.
Okay. Ooh, what's that?
Why does this lock?
Yeah,
it has, the handle has to go up, that's all. That's the way you open it. We didn't install
It was installed backwards.
Yes.
you might be going
Okay, so that's the way,
That's the way the town says, part of the, when we're paying someone from a grant, a portion of the money, how do I say this? We have to pay for her health insurance, the proportionately
right,
also.
right.
So the towns are taking all the health insurance. We have to
Right.
pay our 18% or whatever it is that we're paying
It is all the benefits.
are included in this.
Oh, they are? Benefits are included in the salary line?
That's what she said.
Okay.
That's what I have. And
That-
she filled it out and sent it to me and said, here, this is set for you. But then I had to compute it to make this. So the same thing we're going to be doing with the outreach.
And what percentages are paid, or what hours, number of hours are paid
For
by the
outreach?
town, and how much is by,
For outreach?
Yes.
Yeah. It's 14 hours paid by the town at $18.32 an hour.
1832?
$18.32,
okay?
and 2 hours from the grant a week, and not, at the same rate. So I don't
Right.
know why there's a difference.
It's
And
because
that's-
of benefits, she has no benefits.
Oh,
So now that I
right, right.
understand that this isn't really salary,
It's
It's
that
salary and
and
benefits.
benefits, right,
Yes,
and,
makes
yeah,
sense.
I've never seen it before.
I've never seen that before.
I was at, okay.
Because
for-
that's very misleading for the employees.
Right. So the van, well, actually, no, that's their, gross salary, that's not what they're gonna come home with, they take
I know, but their
taxes out of
benefits aren't paid to them.
Well,
The benefits are like their FICA, their social security that the town pays in for them, it's their health insurance that the town pays into them. The people don't get that as cash.
No,
So if someone thinks their salary is $65,000,
it is.
but you're telling me includes their
But then
benefits.
taxes come out.
But what about their
If you have benefits, you'd have that come out of your check, that's how checks used to be. My check used to
No,
be.
well,
No.
only for the portion, that's a deduction, that's not,
Right,
but the town pays a portion of their benefits.
75%.
So that's what I'm asking, is that money in this, or is this 65,000 really their pay?
I'm here to get all the boxes
That
behind
money, I
you,
think,
Linda.
is included, I mean, that's it, and then all those deductions come out.
No.
You okay?
No.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Their portion,
Yeah.
their deductions come out,
Yeah,
but,
it's not included like in her salary.
right,
It's the cost of her
right.
benefits.
So that doesn't make sense why there's two different rates. All right, we'll have to figure this out. later.
I don't, you know. this-
But we gotta
this is what I-
understand this before we approve it.
This is why I am not
No, I understand,
director.
I'm just trying to
This
get.
is not my forte, I will lead that dinner today, I will do anything you want me to do, I don't know how to do this.
No, I
Okay,
understand
the
completely, I'm just
van is
asking.
priced hourly at $16.04 an hour for 13 hours. We have two proposals, we either have the two, or we have one and we pay the other one by formula grant, and when I figured it out, if we put $10,000 aside for the formula, from the formula grant, driver number 2, that comes out to about 620 hours of driving a year, about 12 hours a week, and I really don't believe every week we use a 16-hour person and a 12-hour person for driving. Am I correct? I mean, there are times when we need that second van driver to do some things. Frank would be doing the major, his same thing, he would be the lead van driver, have access to my senior center. The other van drivers, you know, oh, we're going to Encore on Monday. We need you for 5 hours. This is the model that other towns have used. They don't even have a paid, you know, I wanna call it salary, but it's not. It's like somebody who is there definite hours, Wednesdays and Thursdays, which Frank would be. They just have on call. They tell them a week ahead, we need you for this, 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 and they're available Monday, Tuesday, or whatever days they wanna fit.
And right now, they're paid,
From 9 to 3, Monday and Tuesday, and 9 to 3, Monday and Tuesday, both of them.
and what has to, but what you're describing as being paid hourly.
They're both paid hourly, but Frank will be guaranteed the 6 hours on Wednesday, 6 hours Wednesday, 6 hours Thursday, as the lead there, so
Yes.
he will do, you know,
Right.
he will be kept as, because it's kind of unfair to him where, especially at this point where everyone, we have a whole new van position that we have
Right.
to look for.
Right.
And this was something I guess the board voted, I cannot
Do
see
we
it in
need,
the
we
minutes.
did vote this at one point.
I didn't see it in the minutes.
Do we need permission from somebody in this building in order to make that change?
From what I understand, the director is the person who hires the van drivers at such and such a price, then goes ahead and has suggested to the selectmen, and the selectmen approve.
Be our budget, right, too. I mean, so the Monday and Tuesday person would be more of an on-call.
Exactly.
So if they only
Which
need,
is
if
what
there
we
was no
used to
one on
have.
Monday.
Right,
They wouldn't get paid at all.
exactly.
Right.
That's what we were hoping was going to
So I'm
happen,
trying to do
to
that.
save money.
Right,
That's what her proposals too is.
number 2.
Is that
They'll say,
Frank will
well,
be
this-
Right, my question is, I understand that part completely. My
Do
question
we have to
is,
have approval?
is that our decision to make that we want the Monday, Tuesday van driver to go to hourly? Or is that a Board
I
of
don't s-
Selectmen
I
decision?
would, go ahead.
I believe in terms of looking at, you know, the hiring practices and all of that, if we had a director, the director would make a recommendation to the board, and the board would forward it to the selectmen.
That makes
Right.
sense.
Without a director,
Yeah.
then it's the board's responsibility, I would assume, to do the hiring.
Okay, and we have at previous meetings voted to
It's not-
change.
It's not in minutes. I read, unless it was
I
years ago.
thought it
I
was
went-
in
We
the
talked about
May.
it and then we held off because we wanted to make sure that there
She
was no
told me last
distinction.
spring. She went last spring and they talked about it.
Oh, okay. Even
And
though-
nothing-
all right.
It was the meeting when I had to attend by phone.
And that.
It was the
someone
May
else took the
18
minutes.
meeting and I
Yeah.
don't have those
It's not in
minutes
there.
in my hand.
I do,
Okay,
and
it's not there?
believe me, I
Well, we
perused
can
it.
vote again now today, can't we?
We can,
Yes.
can't we?
So let's take, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, votes may be
Oh, but
taken
wait a
from
minute,
again.
in December, what did we do in December? On December 9th, wait a second, I have a draft.
Did we vote it, didn't we
I
vote
have
to
a
have
draft
him
of
the
the
van-
minutes
The
here,
van driver, make him lead.
making a lead van driver who would continue to be salaried. Let me see if I can find that.
So anyway, I'm
Oh.
gonna find it.
Yes, so it was motioned and approved unanimously that Frank would be named the COA's lead van driver and continued to be paid the daily salary. The board previously voted the drivers be paid hourly, and the board voted to continue this for additional non-lead drivers. And it had unanimous approval.
Okay, so that was on December 9th.
December
minutes?
9th, that was
Okay,
decided.
because then I
Yeah.
can put that in the cover letter, and
Okay.
we have that, because it wasn't
Yeah.
previously
And
in
we just
any
need
of
to
the minutes.
clarify, I think, that when we say he's paid hourly, the Monday and he or she, the Monday and Tuesday van driver is paid hourly for hours worked.
Yes,
Yes, yes.
Just to clarify,
I'm pretty sure that's what it
Yeah.
said in the
just
cover
need to
letter.
say exactly,
Yeah.
because
Right.
that could be ambiguous the way it's written.
Okay.
I have other drivers as needed at 1604, same price from the grant.
For
money.
hours actually worked.
Right.
Yeah.
And then quickly expenses, I only went up $500. Our T-Mobile and our My Senior Center access, to pay to have that for them to access My Senior Center, comes to $3,318 alone. So
A year?
that's a year. So with even asking for 3,500 doesn't give us a lot more money for expenses. However, we are allowed to use money from the revolving account, which is typically about, right now it's lush because the money has not come out for everything here in the pantry, apparently. But it's typically around $15,000 in there, so our expense line, except for, like we don't need it anymore for a lot of postage because we're not sending the newsletter out. We don't need it for newsletter costs, printing, labels, that's all done by the company that is doing our newsletter. So that is a savings and we,
The
I don't know.
printing is the cost of printing is covered by the printing company because of the advertisements.
Right.
However, I
Not
think we
mailing.
might have to make a decision about, do we continue to never mail again?
I thought that was the decision.
The decision to not mail was certainly for January and February, but it's a question mark beyond that.
I mean,
We haven't made a decision.
Are we gonna get every senior citizen in Groveland's email address and email it to them?
They haven't asked for the last 3 years, I think, if they have an email, to give it to the Council on Aging.
And how that
And we
has
also are producing 1,000 printed copies, is it 1,000?
I believe because it's not being mailed this time, we're producing 1,000 copies that will be disseminated to the
Different areas. So
usual
it-
drop-off spots,
Yes.
including town hall.
It could also go Meals on Wheels, for those who don't have email, who don't have access to get out, we can put a thing in there, Meals on Wheels, here's the newsletter. I think that was the conversation we had a long time ago about trying to get it all online. Well, so I'm just saying,
Right.
as far as expenses, like right now, this luncheon is costing a little bit for paper goods, but everything else, people pay for their meal. So how much did the paper goods cost? I'm just thinking, I'm trying to be realistic, because when the town looks at this, this is still a lot of money we're asking from them. So I just went up 500 that, but the van maintenance, it's not maintenance, it's fuel cost.
Right.
Before we had the big bucks, because we had the old van that kept breaking, and we needed to pay for this to fix and that to fix, and then I think that's why they cut the money, like, well, you have a new van now. Well, fuel costs
And oil changes.
and oil changes,
Right,
yes,
right.
it's still some maintenance, but
Do you know,
$1,500 is
Unexpected.
not paying.
Laurel, do you know how many from your, I know you said that, and I couldn't get to the annual report, but I know you said the formula grant went up because, and then we have 16.5% of the town's population is seniors. Do you know what that number actually is?
I do not.
Okay.
The only way for me to find out would probably be to call Adam Frank. I tried looking on 2020 census for Groveland, got nowhere. It said it had 6,000 something people. How many over 60?
Okay,
Now, it
but we know
said
the percentage, though.
It said percentages.
So we know, the total, we know the total population
We
of
could
Groveland
just
is.
divide it, I suppose, yeah.
And I can
don't know
multiply that
Yeah.
by 16.5%.
Right, right. I mean, that's all
So
it
16.5% of the town's population is
seen over six,
I mean,
over
I think
six-
one
over
thing,
what?
over 60.
Over 60.
I think one thing that we should look at, honestly,
you.
is what this is per person. And that would be a very good way to present that, and it should
If
also
you-
go in the cover letter.
You guys are the mathematicians.
Well, if someone can tell me the exact population of Groveland, I can do the
I
math.
will look
I
that
do
up.
believe the town clerk could do that.
Okay, well.
She
I'm
she might
gonna
have
be
the
pantry
census, she might know. Okay, anyway,
For the next
just
I'll
please
cover it
take
for
a
you.
look at this, and I'm just trying to do this.
I'm concerned about, I am honestly concerned about not mailing the newsletter.
I agree with
Well,
I just,
agree with
Can I
I
say
think
more
the people
about
that
that?
really need us
A lot of people
are the ones
don't
that we're not gonna reach.
get it
Right.
electronic.
right, so the situation,
Maybe on your way out. at the end of the meeting.
the situation with the newsletter is that, the actual list of addresses is being worked on,
No, I know that.
so that the people who are not in Groveland have been deleted. I met with the town clerk and got the names of the people, unfortunately, who have passed in the past 6 months. Just from that number, and also realizing from the returned, undelivered
You returned.
newsletters from the post office, people who have moved. I was able to delete those people and those who had passed in the last 6 months. I am going to, in January, when it's convenient for the town clerk, I'm going to meet with them and get the names of the previous year and a half of
Mhm.
people who passed and delete them.
Do we know how many the mailing list is?
No,
Okay.
at this point, I don't know, because there are names that have been, that I highlight in red saying we need to delete them,
There are duplicates too.
and there are some
Do we know what
duplicates.
how many there are on the mailing list before we started?
About 1,400,
1,400, and do we know what it costs?
1,200 to
Okay,
1,400?
do we know what it costs to mail a newsletter?
No,
Okay.
absolutely don't.
Okay,
I do know that it cost the COA $40. $40, was what we had to pay the post office for the undelivered ones,
That was only one time.
and that was one time.
There was another package that came in, these are more, and she had put out more, and I don't remember how much it was. They had twice that we know of, and there maybe were more, that these were undeliverable. So,
Then they
it-
charge.
It is, we've been talking about this, I mean, even back when I was on the board before, about taking the email list, compiling it, so I'm on both lists. I don't need the paper copy, I have an
Right.
email.
right.
Or I can pick one up at the library or
Yeah.
here if I want
Right.
to. I do understand what you're saying, but I think it was costing a lot of money, and that's why we went to this other place. Cause we
Right, 'cause-
also had to have ink and
Because
paper.
and we paid the, right, we paid
Yeah.
the printer, yeah.
Yeah,
But mailing to the people who need it is effective outreach.
So
Yes.
that's why I think we should still have some money in there, because I think that there are gonna still be some number that we should mail. I
well, it's
just,
not like we
Yeah.
don't have the money. We still have, if we use the formula grant as we still have $4,903 in the formula grant
okay,
that, of this,
All right.
and then according to Nisha, we're gonna check it with Adam Frank, well, if any money not used this year from that formula grant carries over, so that is a chunk of money. I
okay.
mean, we're suddenly going from 16,000 to 25,000, blah, blah,
Yeah.
it's, you know, that's a lot of money all of a sudden in our, which is good
Mhm.
for those kind of things, so not knowing we had it in October, we just found out now.
It's,
I agree
Going
with that. I think
forward.
that, there are so many people that don't have email.
Right.
That we need
Yeah,
to, down the road,
yeah.
once we clean up everything, but
Yeah.
rather than saying we're never gonna do it again.
Right.
But down the road, once we get things cleaned up, we will be doing mailings
Yeah,
again to those
I agree.
who need
Right.
it.
So, I mean, that, again, not knowing how much it costs, we have, 3,500, about, if we ask for, say it's not even $200 left for mailing, so we could increase that line.
No, that's fine,
But
if
I
there's
don't-
enough money left over in the grant, that's fine, but
Well,
I think,
grant and also revolving
Yeah.
fund, that.
I think at some point, so that all of us, especially the three of us that are brand new and haven't gone
Mhm.
through these discussions before, not right now,
Oh.
weeks,
There are five
several
of
weeks.
us that haven't gone through
Okay,
that.
well, but I think what would be helpful,
everybody.
yeah, okay.
No.
Well, what would be
But the
helpful, and what
director's
I'm,
like, here it is, we're
yeah,
doing it.
and what I'm happy to work on after New Year's
Yeah, I
is,
agree.
is I think what we need to see for us is we need to see total spending from the Council on Aging.
Mhm.
Not just what the town spends, but total spending by line item, what we've requested the town to have budgeted and what we're expecting to go from the formula grant. And then the formula grant, taking all those items out. We need to understand that, cause to me this is, and I
Right.
understand it's the way we have to do it, cause we have different funding sources.
Right,
But for our board, we need to see everything in one picture.
yes,
Good.
and that's what I'm attempting to do.
Yeah.
With this, last year, to get Nisha the salary, for the assistant director, they took a little money out of here, a little it was like 3 different
Right.
sources paying her salary, and I'm like, okay, and the town, they told me right up, you heard that meeting, that, and Marie too, there's no way that we can fully fund this
No, I understand
position.
that, and I agree,
And
the
so
town
that's why I'm
can't
like,
afford
let's
it.
make use of the formula grant
Yeah.
for these. And gradually, each year, my hope is that the town pays a bigger, so if they pay 81% of this,
Right.
next year maybe 90%. And each year, I know the goal is to get it fully funded, but
Yeah, you can't do it all at once,
you
no, I
can't.
completely understand that.
So I just finding, and
I'm just
I
saying for
don't
our
know a lot of,
purposes,
oh, me too,
just to
I don't
understand.
know, and even, so, I think what we need to do is, when I think Marie and I briefly discussed it, I don't know if we had it at our meeting, and I know we're taking all the time here, that Ellen has, every warrant that goes out, you sign or I sign the warrant, it says how much the expenses, we paid $4 for this, $7 for this, every little item is put on that warrant, we sign off of it, a copy goes, and it eventually gets to Ellen, and she, or the, I don't know if it goes to Ellen, I don't know who it goes to, maybe it goes down this way. But they have the accounting, and the treasurer should just be double checking, making sure that you don't have to recreate, I know Dot did that, we don't have to do that. You don't have to recreate a
Good.
form.
That will save you a lot of time.
Yes, as long as it matches.
Mhm.
And you have all those, you have payroll, what came out of payroll, we signed off on it, payroll, yep, the line item is the same. And that, I think they actually have more, like under expenses, they say what it went out, T-Mobile bill, or
Right.
this bill, that the warrant says that. So we will know at the, for next year, it's not gonna happen this year, this needs to be in next Friday. And I wish, we could go for, let's just, everything fully funded, and then they'll say no on January, we're one of the, I think we are the first department to go to in front of the finance board, which may be a good thing, I don't know. I need some help with this, actually, because this is the best, I'm trying to make everybody happy and knowing we have some money that we can use. I don't think the formula grant should only be used to support salaries. We're taking a big chunk out of
Right.
this. But even saying 10,000 possibility for the second van driver, I don't think we're going to need that much money for it. But if we plan for it, that leaves us $4,903 in the formula grant. And if we have the carryover, that we may have carryover this year, only because we were not expecting to get 25 this year. We were expecting it in July, and they gave it to us now. They kept saying, oh, the next formula grant will, but they gave it to us now, which is great. It's wonderful. So
Would you like to meet with some of us Tuesday or Wednesday next week to do
Tuesday
this,
would
or-
be great, because I have, my family's doing Christmas the rest of next week. They're coming Tuesday night, Wednesday, Thursday, they'll be here. So
Whatever works for you.
Tuesday, yeah, if the people who are mathematical want to, yeah,
Let me see what Tuesday is.
Tuesday morning, or,
I have an appointment
Because-
at 1:30.
wait a minute, we can only,
Tuesday's the 27th.
yes.
We don't have to do that here, do we?
No, we can, I think you,
Do we have to post that?
yeah, it's a subcommittee.
Well, are we making decisions? Are we
We're not making decisions.
only-
No, that's
We're
right,
not-
we won't be
just-
making decisions,
Yeah,
we
we're
were
just
saying.
gonna work on
We're
it
just
to
double
then
checking the budget and making sure that we understand it.
Yeah,
So what would be
we're
a
not
good time?
deliberating, so
Right,
we're not
it's just-
violating the open meeting law.
Right.
It's meeting preparation, it's preparation.
Preparation for our meeting,
Yes.
exactly,
Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
okay.
I can only do it in the morning that day.
I just as soon have it done in the morning if
I can
everybody
do
else.
Tuesday in the morning.
I can do Tuesday as well.
Okay, so the four of us,
Mhm.
unless anyone else wants to come, but I mean, these are the mathematical, if you three wanna meet, just tell me, this is what we came up with.
No, we need you, we need.
Because you have all that little
Yeah.
notebook
We
there.
need
Yeah.
With your,
You put in all this hard work. for
Yes,
certain
you
things.
have.
Well,
When-
I know,
All we're gonna do is format it for
When
you.
and where?
right, that and also checking up these percentages,
Okay.
I don't even know if I did it correctly.
Don't worry, I'm gonna go home, I don't know if I'm gonna
Well,
do it.
is that,
Do it Monday.
I won't, no, Monday, that's when my
Babysit.
family's doing Christmas.
Oh, okay.
So,
I know.
So Tuesday, the 27th, when and where? would you
Laurel,
like to-
is that on this computer?
No,
Oh,
I have no access to anything. Nisha said, well, this is it, go on clear.gov, under my password, it's not there.
yeah, okay, I will at least put this into an Excel file. And,
This is Excel.
yeah, well, can you email it to me?
Yes, it will come, you have to go sheet 1, and it comes out like this.
I don't care, cause I'm not gonna print it, I'm gonna look at it on the screen.
Yeah,
Email it to my home though, don't email it here, email
Yeah,
it to my
yeah,
home.
yeah, okay, okay.
All
but
right.
if you met in here, you could be looking.
But I need to check formulas with myself before the meeting, cause
Well,
that
it's
saves a
a-
lot.
No, but that
Supposedly,
Tuesday,
this
you
is
could all
supposed to-
three be maybe looking at it on here.
Yeah, but I don't wanna be here for a really, really long time on Tuesday, cause I'm
No.
gonna be here at the pantry from 10 to 2 on Wednesday, and I'm,
And you're in here and people keep walking in the door.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard to do it.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
all right.
So where are we gonna meet on Tuesday?
You can come to my house if you want. I have a kitchen table. We can all huddle around.
We have coffee?
Yes, we can have coffee.
Okay, what time?
Where do you live and what
15
time?
Parker Road,
15?
Parker
Yeah.
Road, which is right
I
off
know
of
where that
School
is, yeah.
Street. 10 o'clock?
Sounds like a plan, is that good?
Mhm.
And I will
Do you want me to
email,
pick you
so
up,
that's
neighbor?
Barbara.
Oh, all right.
And everybody has my cell phone number in case something comes up.
Did those go out in a minute?
No, I
Darn,
didn't
no,
have
they
it.
didn't.
We don't have, cause I don't, cause I was trying to text
But
Laura
you know what, I
yesterday,
can
but
get those, I can email
Don't
those
just-
to
don't ever
everybody
text
today.
me, email me.
Oh, okay.
Email
I
what?
don't have
I
to.
missed it.
Email, phone numbers and,
Oh,
yeah, phone numbers, email phone numbers today, I can do that,
Okay, yeah.
I'll get that out.
But just so you all know, if you need to get in touch with me, email or call my home phone. My cell phone is only to take pictures with.
And, well, I know what you're saying.
Or I have a
I
flat
know a little more
tire.
than that.
I'm just 10.
Sound like my husband.
Yeah, I don't use it.
I do too.
What did I
lose my-
mention? Okay.
Do you need any documents,
I'll be at your
previous
house.
documents from here for that meeting?
I might, I have to get.
We'll have to,
we'll have to let you
Nice
know once we get our head right there on the.
Except
Okay.
that Misha's on vacation next week,
I
so
know,
it will be
I'm
hard
talk to her
to
now.
get those documents, okay.
Actually, I've got a whole list of things for Nisha.
Okay,
Having her not here this week was not helpful either. And as far as Nisha's pay, we had said try to get the lump sum. They cannot do that because the grant is paying for part of that, and grants you can't do, is what I've been told.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it's going
We
to be
tried.
at,
we tried.
we
Not-
tried.
Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
okay. I am done for, look, I'm also to Zoom meeting on January 3rd at 11 o'clock about the DOT grant. Anyone who's interested in coming, they're just gonna talk about the DOT grant, and Nisha sent it to the people that are kind of money-wise, but if you want it, the Zoom connection hasn't been there, I will be getting it.
And when is it?
It's the 3rd.
January 3rd at
Jan-
11.
January 3rd
At
at 11.
So if you wanna tell me you're interested, I'll write your names down and send you an email.
Sure.
Okay, so who? Barbara?
Yeah.
Which I
Irene?
Irene? Who else? Anybody else?
These are all
Yeah,
documents.
put me in too.
What day of the
Larry?
week is January 3rd?
Tuesday.
Oh, is that Tuesday?
1, 2, 3. Yes,
But it's after New Year's.
Yeah, well,
it's
that's-
after New
Oh,
Year's.
that's after New Year's.
It's a week after your meeting.
Right.
Okay, so Barbara, Irene, Larry, me, anyone else?
Sure, I'm not sure I can make it, but go ahead, send me this
Okay,
link.
and I will send the email with the Zoom address. And they're just gonna explain how the DO, it's supposed to be like, I think half an hour, they said. They'll explain how it's supposed to be used and this whole thing. First Amendment audits webinar, I think I sent that out to you. If you're interested in receiving or going into that, you have to register for it. That's on the 10th from 12 to 1:15. Next week, the payroll has to be it will be in Danny's office on that Thursday, signed before noon. I think I can do it, but if not, Marie or Irene, I'll give you a call. Can you get down there before noon and just sign payroll at Danny's corner? Because
Sure.
Nisha won't be here.
What
She's
day is
go-
it? Thursday?
Next Thursday, payroll.
Next Thursday?
Yes, it has to be in
The
29th.
29th?
So Nisha won't be here, so she's going to do hers like Friday. She will put her payroll in, she's on vacation next week. We just need to have Frank's added, or
I
whatever
just
he
need
does.
from Irene, I'll talk to you later, Irene.
Okay.
The last statement.
Okay.
Okay, I'm done, sorry, that took a lot.
That's all right.
Next, pantry.
Pantry, we're,
Pantry update?
yeah, I mean, we haven't had a lot of customers, sadly. We've had none.
Hmm.
We've had very few lately. We've got a lot of food,
We do.
I don't know how else to get the message out, but we have not had a lot of, people coming in. We're open, I'm here all day until 2 today, to be open for the pantry. I was here yesterday morning, and Candy Mulligan was here from 12 to 2 yesterday, so it was open yesterday. The next week, we're only gonna be open on Wednesday, the 28th. And then I was hoping that we would, I don't know if a decision has been made on a temporary outreach worker.
We have not made that decision, that's something else that needs to be decided.
Okay, so that's the big, can I just, before we get to that, I just need to say that the phone calls that we take on our 4 hours of pantry, which is only supposed to be
Mhm.
food related. I mean, with Nisha out, the phone calls, you know, I mean, we just, you know, we take them from people looking for help, you know, finding nursing home placements, people looking for support for chores around the house.
That is an outreach
It is an
position,
outreach,
and
and-
we are only doing pantry.
I know, but
Right,
but
that
when Nisha's
positions-
not here and the phone rings, it's,
Who would get it if you weren't in this room?
it would just,
It would go to nowhere.
it would just, well, they'd
Go
leave a
to a
voice
voicemail.
message and then no one's here to return it.
Okay, so they
So
could
we-
be days
we
without
thank-
getting
Days
information.
without getting it.
We
Okay.
thank you people who are running the pantry, and, you know, even though if you're answering the phone, you say, well, we don't have an outreach worker, Nancy, and you can send them elsewhere, but thank you for at least being a voice
Right,
at the
and
end of
that's-
the line, instead of getting a voicemail that's never
Yeah,
returned
and you
until
know,
days later.
yesterday Candy was here from 10 to 2, and at like, I think 5 minutes to 2, she called me because, I can't remember what the issue was, but it was someone, that hadn't had a van ride confirmed. Then,
That's what it was.
then someone else had never gotten a confirmation of whether or not they
Luncheon.
had gotten in for the luncheon. You know, Frank happened to I'm so sorry, you know, it's like, okay, call Frank. So, someone needs to be here.
Well, they
which
went to Rebecca.
They finally did, right, because no
Yeah,
one knew
and I
who
get
had the
the
luncheon.
email, well, where's your information? I said, we don't have access to that room,
Right.
I can't get it
I know,
anyway.
and we don't know, right,
And
exactly.
she said, oh, you can go in that room, you just can't get the key to the town hall.
Yeah, but we don't have a key to that pantry either, I mean, to that room, yeah.
Well,
And I now do
apparently
have a
they
key
can't.
here. But
So, I
anyways,
thank you for
That's a
doing the pantry and
miscommunication
taking
around
those
here,
calls,
I
but
think, isn't
you
it?
know what, this
Okay,
proves
yeah.
that
Yeah,
maybe,
that's-
we
as
do.
far as I know, there's been no applications for the outreach worker,
Just one,
just the one.
right. So I think that we should schedule an interview and move ahead with that.
Yep, I do too.
I agree.
Because, yeah, it's-
And then if we decide, then it has to be, approved by the selectmen before that person can begin.
Right, so we should try to get on the next selectmen's meeting agenda.
And we could actually, the subcommittee, Irene, you and I, could meet today and say, let's get an interview, right?
It's not, I'm not, she's talking to you, I'm not on the
You,
subcommittee.
you, me, and Irene, aren't we the three?
Right.
Personnel. See, and she may even be here today, she's supposed to be here working today. We can
Hmm.
just see if we can accomplish that today
Mhm.
at the
Okay.
luncheon. Okay. Anything else?
Because, yeah, it's just important, it's really
Oh,
important.
It really
It
is.
if they're missing
You
calls
know.
like that.
It's-
Yeah.
And it's great to have volunteers in here for the food.
Right.
Because
Amazing.
one can never predict what will be needed. However, we need one person who really learns where to,
Everything is.
Yeah, but that shouldn't be a
let
volunteer.
people know, no, so we need one
We need an outreach worker,
hired
a paid
outreach person
worker,
who
yes.
gets the information and knows the resources
Right.
Definitely.
available to send,
Because
people to,
When you look at the outreach worker's position,
yeah.
their job description, it's not just the food pantry.
Oh, no, that's only,
It's-
that's
that's
just an
like-
add-on, that's a teeny
that's-
tiny bit of it.
16, what, no, 4 and 4, how many hours? 8 hours of her work.
But that's
is
not
this.
even, but she's multitasking.
And she's, while
And
she's
she's-
sitting
oh,
there waiting
yeah.
for
When there's no
people to
one
come in,
here,
she's
she
got
can-
other
She's doing
stuff.
her real job.
Exactly.
This is the add-on
And
part.
so-
Yeah, this is
As far as
the minor
budget-
part,
As far as
actually.
budget is concerned, this is the important work right here. It's not just the programs and let's go to on board.
Right.
This is where we are.
And the person here is a face of, is a humanitarian face and a
Mhm.
human service face. And we are really missing that right now.
Yes, we are.
Such a big loss.
I mean, but I
Right.
wanna thank our volunteers for that.
Well, but
Doing what you
that's,
can.
yeah, but our point, I think, is
Yes.
that we are clearly not, we're not equipped
No,
to do outreach, we're not enough, we're happy to, put food away and hand out food and take calls about food. The rest of it though needs to be someone that, whose job it is, and, it's, of course, having the, Nisha, the vacation and sick days and, other days has complicated the
Right,
reason
but that's not even her
Because-
position, really, I mean,
Well, I
but
know
she
that.
at least knows part of that and
But
helps.
the outreach was always part-time.
Right.
So I'm sure if someone called on a Monday, Nisha
Oh,
would
and that
handle
is,
it.
that is part of her position, that
'Cause
piece,
as-
yes, yes.
So,
Um,
having that
yeah.
absence has really,
I don't have the qualifications for being the director here.
But you're doing a great job.
Aren't you glad?
Oh, thank God. And where's my pay? I'll take that 60,
but just,
whatever.
just one tiny thing on the budget.
Yes,
If there's 1,000 seniors in Groveland, which seems probably about right,
yeah,
given, if we have 6,000 or 7,000 people and it's 16 or
Yeah,
15%.
that would be a.
It's probably a higher number than 1,000, just use 1,000, it's easy to do the math. We're only asking the town to spend $148 per senior.
thank you.
That's gonna go in the
I-
cover letter.
You can figure this out.
I will.
Please
It's
put
gonna
that
go in
down for the,
cover letter.
I mean, I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
what
I
are
don't
they
have.
paying in taxes?
$148 a senior
Okay.
is what we're
Good.
asking.
Per,
Good number.
per year,
Yes. So that's
Per
what,
year?
$10, yeah.
yeah.
Is that
And how much are
$10 a
they
month?
paying in taxes?
$12 a month.
We're paying a
Just-
lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay,
$12
we're
a
same
month.
as the young guy, people
Where is that
earning a
tax?
living.
yeah, but that's, so $12 a month.
Where is that tax money going?
To trash collection.
Oh, God.
That was the other thing, I thought, oh, we have to pay for the trash, and I'm like,
All right.
we have to pay for
So-
seniors. Okay, thank you. Van,
Van, we are still waiting for the calendar to turn to schedule the repair. So,
Okay.
with Nisha out next week, I'll try to catch her today or tomorrow, but we'll probably more likely wait till after the first of the year.
so it doesn't need to go in for a preview
No, I
inspection?
just need to, schedule the delivery to Saugus. So,
Okay, so
I'm
you're
gonna
going
try to do
Saugus.
that like at the end of the shift, the first Thursday in, January.
Right, 'cause we don't
Work
do
with
Friday.
Frank to follow him down and give him a ride home, so
Okay, great.
that's what we're shooting for.
Smart. Thank you.
Okay, newsletter,
I think we covered that.
yeah.
I mean, we'll keep working on that to update it, hopefully
Yeah.
by, January, February, hopefully by the March, April one. We'll have a good list in shape to
Well-
know better what numbers.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I mean, and actually,
And also,
That
if I
is
can get
something
some
that-
phone numbers of people I may call to ask some people if they consider to do email.
and
I
that
need
is
to read the
something, maybe
situation.
not now, but that is part of Nisha's job description. She is the data entry
Yeah,
slash
she has
newsletter.
numbers.
So she
when I
has the
needed
numbers
them.
instead of us trying to look them up and asking
Right.
her, yeah.
I would
So
get
that's
them from
something
Nisha.
she could be working
Yeah.
on too, yes.
Well, we've got 40-something seniors here today. Could we go around table to table and say, hi, are you
Ooh.
interested in receiving a newsletter? Do you have email? Would you prefer paper? What's your address?
Great.
I'd be happy to do that.
Go for it,
That's a brilliant
Okay.
suggestion.
yes.
Here, you want
And
some
any
paper to
senior
make a
you
list?
see.
I've got paper.
Okay.
See, I like reading it. to take
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, yeah, that's
I-
right, but you know what, you're able to get out, so you can pick one up
Yes.
here, you can pick
I
one at
could
the
pick it up
library.
here. I mean, I could
half
go
the
off the
time,
list
I
and pick
read
it
it
up.
in the email, and then it's
Mhm.
like, what
I-
is the such, what
Yeah,
are they doing? I come
I
down
need
and I
paper.
read it in paper,
'Cause
cause I
I
can't
keep
find
it.
it in my email.
Yeah, I do too in the drawer, yeah.
And,
I'm a paper
um,
person.
Somebody
Me
puts it on
personally.
Facebook, it must be Nisha.
She does.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
so,
like,
yeah.
Linda said, I like a hard copy,
Yeah,
but I'll go get
I-
one. I just live a half a
Yeah.
mile away.
But if
I
I think if
completely
we know
understand.
they're available in places, and if we are able to
Right.
get out, I
Yeah,
would
they
be more
are
than happy to
available.
pick
Yeah,
it up
I'm happy
instead
to
of
pick
having
it up
it
too.
mailed.
But
Right,
I didn't, never
like
realized it
paper
was
copy.
available.
I never realized it was available
Oh,
outside
here,
there.
library,
Mail
I
either.
think Jerry's,
Actually, it
The
says
last
it on
couple
either
of weeks
the
that I've
front
been
or
there.
back page
Yeah,
of the
I really
newsletter.
learned a lot about it.
yeah,
Do we send
Fine
any to
print.
Nichols Village to reach those people?
I think some up there, it says it on
A
the,
few. It
The
says it on the
Riverside Pines.
front or back of the newsletter.
newsletter.
Oh,
and just so you know.
oh, front
Because I
usually.
don't know if we were ever recorded with that. Going forward, anyone who lives out of town has to pay for
Yeah,
I did see that.
Oh,
Yes.
$12
That
a
makes
year,
sense,
so
though.
$12
$1.
a year.
Hmm.
So
That
that
would
we're
make
not,
sense.
we don't have to send it
Right.
to them, and that's a savings. Okay,
That was okay.
but thank you, Irene, for working on that newsletter and.
Yes.
Yes,
It's a lot of work.
well, that's something I can do, but I'd rather see $40 go into paying for postage for people who actually
That are alive.
receive the newsletter versus ones that have been returned and we're sort
Right,
of paying
I
a
agree.
penalty.
So
So
that- that
I'm
is
bound
a-
and determined
That is a
about
goal, oh, we can put that as goals for the year. Okay, new resumes, positions, we have the one for the outreach and for director.
As far as I know, there have not been any additional, applications. So we're gonna just have to move forward with what we have. Of course, some of the applications are now months old at this point, so I need to make sure that people haven't dropped out. I'll talk to the two of you about calendar, about when we can set up, meetings for, right after the calendar turns to January. We wanna try to move this along in a couple, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's Marie.
It's Marie. I forgot. Oh, and I have, we have the posted, job description, and we have the, new one from the Collins Center, which has not been technically approved. But I kinda went through both of them and
Okay.
made because we have such a diverse group of,
Is this yours?
people. Oh, I'm sorry, yeah. We have a diverse background and group of people. I just tried to glean out what could we review the candidates on, all on one sheet. This is probably like a fourth iteration of this. And if you look, there's a bar down the middle that separates education and experience, so I kind of put those on a scale of 1 to 4. And then the other tasks and abilities aren't really ranked 1 to 4, they're really all aspects of the job. But we're not gonna necessarily find someone who has all of those
So you just check
abilities,
one,
so we're
two,
just,
but not this.
right. And this will kind of give us an opportunity to kind of at a glance see who the viable candidates are that, after looking at the resumes that we want to bring in for an interview.
This is really good, Larry.
Yeah.
Very good,
Excellent.
thank you, this is very good work.
Very, very good.
I've done this before when we've done interviewing, when I worked in the school district, and this is very good.
Yeah,
Yes.
it really is, excellent.
So all those courses and workshops on preparing rubrics have
Yeah,
really paid
that's
off.
true.
Thank you.
The teacher in
and
me
I-
shines
That's
through, doesn't it?
And that
Thank
will be
goodness.
very helpful when you're doing interviewing,
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Seriously.
Oh, and that's
what we did.
And reviewing
Right.
resumes, just
Right,
as a.
so, and we have a list of questions that were used in prior interviews that we got from Rebecca, that I can give out, but, these are kind of generic, and I think that we have to get more like nitty-gritty in terms of, what experience do you have writing grants? What experience do you have managing a budget, because we are hiring the director, and that's an administrative position. It's not an outreach position, it's not a program position, it is, so we really need to concentrate on those skills that an administrative position would hold, so.
I would just, as a recommendation, make sure that there's some questions in there about handling conflicts.
Oh, yeah, that's.
Maybe give a few scenarios,
Uh-huh.
how would you
That we have
handle
been
this?
through.
Yeah, those are always interesting to see,
Yes.
the result. The other part of it
Think it's
is
an
that
important skill
the
set.
whether or not the interviews, the initial round of interviews might be done either in open session or in closed session, and that's up to the candidate. Whether or not they have that. So if all the candidates agree to do it in open session, then we do them in open session. If one of them says I want it in closed session, then the actual first interview would be in closed session for
For
all the
every-
candidates. So hopefully, out of the pool of maybe 8 to 10 candidates, we can find 3 or 4 to interview. And, I'm gonna look at a calendar and do it in a short meeting, so we'll have one organizational meeting. I'll charge the committee, I'll give out the information that we have in terms of what the hiring practices are, the KP Law thing that came out, the job descriptions. And, there are some things that we look for in the candidate that aren't mentioned in the job description. Personality traits that don't appear in any kind of job description that, so I'm gonna be asking people to, you know, tell the committee what you think the director, you know, what traits and qualities as a person, you know, do we want in that position, so.
Good.
Yep, and I thank you for this information, this is great, perfect. All right. Anything else for that?
That's it for that.
Okay, the AARP tax program,
Yeah.
very sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The, one of the, preparers
The
has
site director.
suddenly died.
One of the gentlemen that
One
was
of the
here.
two men who
Yes,
was
one
here.
that was
Yes.
Yeah, the
Yes.
one that was gonna be our site director, yeah, I got a call yesterday at the pantry from the other John that was here that day.
They're
Oh,
both
wow.
Johns, yeah.
Yeah, John
Yeah.
Drine, and telling us that John
Strohmeyer.
Stonemeyer, I'm sorry, had unexpectedly died,
Oh.
yes.
So,
Um,
the other news about that is the new person that they found to be the site coordinator can only work on Fridays, which really cuts the appointment times down.
No, because they're in the fire station.
That's right.
It doesn't
That's right.
matter,
yeah.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
Good, cause I'm
Doesn't
like,
matter.
okay, so we have 4 hours.
Yeah.
to-
No,
No,
no.
it doesn't
Okay,
matter.
Fire station.
okay.
And they have their own
So-
key apparently, right? That's one of the things, that those guys get their own key.
I don't know.
I think
They
that's what,
figured that out when.
that's
the-
what John Drinan said
Yeah.
was his understanding, was that they
Okay.
have their
Yes.
own key. They're completely self-sufficient. They don't need anything to do with this building.
Okay, good.
But we'll
That's-
need to
so
publicize
Fridays-
it.
Yes.
Yeah.
The appointments are gonna be on Friday. Was there anything in the newsletter about this yet or not?
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna have to.
Yes.
And they said to contact me.
So we're gonna have
we
to-
could either, if someone contacts me, say, well, it's gonna have to be on a Friday,
Yeah.
and I'll explain the whole thing.
Right, and maybe we could send out anyone that we do, I mean, we could probably post it somewhere.
We can put it on Facebook,
Yeah.
everyone does that, and in the office, post a little thing, just for your information, as people come in to the pantry or to the office. And they don't begin until, I forget the date, February
Right,
16th, is it? So between now and then, I mean, we can get the word out, and they have to call for an appointment
Exactly.
anyway. So to call, we can say, oh, by the way, it's changed. I think that will take care of itself as they call for an appointment.
Mhm.
It will have to be a Friday. What Friday you?
Who takes the calls for the appointment?
Me.
I know.
Or the director, when we get a director.
Laurel.
Laurel.
Is that a need, did you get to do a
program?
Is that a
It's-
what?
It's through AARP,
Oh, okay.
Yes, yeah.
so, and they don't schedule someone.
And it isn't just for seniors, anyone can sign up for it.
Oh, this must have
How
been
many
in November.
preparers do they have?
Okay.
Just the 2?
I don't know how many
It was that
preparers.
first meeting that
It's
we went to
November.
as observers.
Yeah, I don't have November's minutes.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, I do.
No, what are you looking for?
November's minutes.
But why? I mean,
To see, what's the other day that they're here?
Thursdays.
Oh, it's Thursday and
It was
Friday?
Thursday. No, they were only here on Thursdays.
Right, they were only, that was they told us the site would be open on Thursdays,
Yeah.
and they
Oh.
told us the number of appointments that they would have each day.
Right. So that remains the same, it just needs to be
Yes,
moved.
the only thing is changing is that it has to be a Friday.
And I believe, I don't know if it's Irene or you, somebody sent me saying, John Drinan needs to know that's okay.
I can, I can call him back, he just
You have
wanted
his
to,
phone number?
I
Oh,
have his phone
I think I
number.
do too, but if
I
you
can
wanna
call-
call him back
yeah.
for me,
I'm
Oh,
gonna be here till
yeah.
two, so.
thank
Oh,
you, and just
gee.
say yes,
Yep.
and make sure that you inform my information, that I'm the one, the
Yes.
contact person.
Yeah, which I
Okay.
believe he got at the last meeting,
Yes,
'Cause
but
he-
just that will
yes.
remain the same.
yes,
Okay,
yeah,
good.
so.
Okay,
I
so-
didn't get to ask Nisha about the annual report for Elder Affairs. She really wasn't going to respond to any of my questions. She's worried about getting things set up there. So I don't know if it's come in. I do know that originally it said it had to be in by December 31st. I have found from Adam Frank, who is our contact person in the state, in this department, said, you don't even have to do it. It's nice to do it because it's
Oh.
information for us,
Oh,
And so I don't know really what it looks like. It seems to be a lot of figures and stats that we don't have access to.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be asking Nisha, she's gonna print it all out, send it to us, and then we have to copy it and print it again. My feeling is that's something that she could do for us, when it comes in. I think last year it didn't go in until January 15th when Amanda was, or afterwards when Amanda was on board. It's just an update, and he said, you are guaranteed this formula grant, we have a contract, I have the contract here, a copy of it, till June 2032 for the amount we've gotten every year. This year, 25,000, and maybe it will go up, but I don't see
In
it
10 years,
going.
when they do another census, cause it's based on the
Right,
2020
and by
census.
10 years, you know, then you have to apply for a new contract.
Yeah, and we're probably not gonna be on the board in 10 years.
Right, I'm
Probably
not.
not.
Live next door, live, quote unquote.
So that, I don't think we really have to get, oh my gosh, it's due December 31st, we don't even have the paper. As far as I know, we didn't get the report that has to be filled out. And I think we originally said Larry and Irene were gonna do it, or my original notes. I don't think we have to worry about
Okay.
that.
Okay, can I backtrack, please?
Yes, go for it.
The AARP tax changes. The January, February newsletter has it on the calendar, it has a blurb about it. How can we publicize the change from Thursday to Friday to reach the most people?
Well, if we have the emails of the people that get the newsletter, then that can be sent out that way. Again.
Okay, so we
I
can
believe-
ask Nisha to send it to all
No, we could do-
emails.
We could also, if we could get a sticker, if someone in town hall can print stickers,
Oh,
we
and
could
put
put
it
a sticker on the
on the
newsletters that are at the
newsletters.
physically at Nichols Village and physically at the library and physically here.
And when we send out the email, we haven't sent the newsletter out yet, we can have a little thing, by the way, correction. AARP is going to be on Friday, starting February,
Yeah.
whatever the date is.
Yeah, who's gonna do that?
You should,
Yeah.
she sends
Yes.
the newsletter
Yeah.
out,
And
Right.
if she
So
can just print
put
us
a little blurby and some stickers.
labels for the hard copy ones,
Right.
because people aren't getting the mail this time
Okay.
anyways,
Irene,
right?
will you take care of that, asking her for that, or do you
Um,
need to? Do you understand what, okay,
I
so-
do,
But again.
I'm trying to picture, see, we never get a printout of it. I'm trying to picture where the write-up is.
Well, it doesn't matter, cause we're just gonna put, it's gonna go in the email, it's gonna go itself in the email.
Right.
Like in the body of the email, it's gonna say, attached to your
Right.
council on Aging
Right.
newsletter, please note,
Right,
after publication of after printing of the newsletter, we found out that AARP will
Right.
really be here on Fridays, not Thursdays. So it'll be right in the body of the email.
do you
And
have the
then-
old newsletter there?
Yeah.
Where we're not sending it to people,
So
that
we would
whole
just put it
section
right here?
right
Yes.
there,
Yes.
why not? We can put a sticker
She must
right
have a
there, that
mailing
big
list.
blank address place.
Oh,
And
I'll
she
be
just
happy to
attaches
put
this to the
1,000
document.
stickers on.
Well, it's
Along
not-
with
we're
putting the
not doing-
calendar.
Well,
You can get help for that.
Yeah.
it has to be folded.
No,
I
it
didn't hear what
doesn't.
you said,
It
I'm
comes
sorry.
stapled, we'll just, because we couldn't reduce the number of pages
Oh.
with all the
Okay,
friend
so it's
stuff.
gonna be
So
flat.
the calendar will have to be
Okay.
inserted according to the way,
Right.
if this is the model.
So we can
And
do
then
the sticker at the same time.
Yeah. We don't have to fold them and tape them or anything, so piece of cake.
Piece
Yeah,
of
we just
cake.
have to ask Nisha to print those stickers for us.
Yeah.
Will you, or do you want me to?
Um,
You're doing the newsletter, so I'm doing but the
I'll
other thing
do
is,
it.
they'll have to call for appointments anyway.
Yeah,
Right, but the more
So-
people we know, so that people don't go and hold their Thursdays open and then you
Mhm.
call, then they call like, oh, well, wait a minute.
Yeah, it's only
Right.
Fridays.
The more people we can
appointment
get it to
Friday,
ahead of time, the better. And the sticker's an easy way to do that.
oh boy, but she's not in next week.
No.
So it would have to be done tomorrow morning.
Well, I have a feeling,
It won't take long, she just has to type
I know,
up like
I
a
know.
sentence and have the label paper, the sticky label paper
Right.
to print.
That
If
might
she
be
has
the
that.
crux, having the label
Labels.
paper.
well, don't they have to have that to print out the addresses if we were sending them?
Exactly.
But she knew we weren't sending the January, February out. I don't know what
Yeah.
the supply issue is.
They might be here in the supply closet,
Right.
you might be.
Might be.
Get somebody town hall
Yeah,
has labels
Yeah,
that they print out, so
exactly.
there'll be some,
Okay.
somewhere.
All right,
Okay.
that's good, and then, labels
Hopefully they share.
and
We'll have to put it
email
back.
blurby, okay. I feel rushed. Anything else? I think we did very well, but.
I bet that room over there is half full. If it starts at 11:30, then
Yeah, it
they're gonna be here
probably
at
is.
10:30.
Well, so those of us, is anyone attending, you're not, you'll be
No,
in
I'm
the
here.
food pantry. We are sitting in the middle table.
Oh.
That's reserved, we put the chairs up, and it's gonna be, and if someone's sitting there now, it's
Oh,
like, no,
there'll be
this is
someone
for the
sitting
board.
there. Remember the
This is for the
tea that
board.
you and I went to?
Oh, that was awful, it was so nasty.
What tea is that?
We went to a tea a few years ago
Tea in
at the
Haverhill.
church in
Unitarian
Haverhill.
one?
You.
And
I went-
Yeah,
there was a,
you-
you know, table set up for Groveland, a table set up for this town, table set up for this town. So she and I got there, we put our coats on the back of the chair and a couple of tables, a couple of chairs in the Groveland table. Then we went over and we looked at the raffles and all that. We come back, there was a group of ladies sitting there, they had not only moved our coats, they moved them to a different town's table. So we're like, why did you move our coats? Well, this is a Groveland table. They're like, right, we're Groveland people. Well, this table is just for Groveland people. And I'm like, again, we're here in Groveland, why did you move you had no right to move our coats. Well, we were told that we could sit here. Oh, there's assigned seats now? We were livid.
I would be.
Oh, it was unnecessary.
Yeah, who do we thank for setting up?
Oh,
Who
Me.
set up today?
Laurel
And
was here,
Frank.
I got here at 9:15 and Laurel and
I
Frank were
came
doing
to
it.
do all this and get copies and
And
stuff
Misha.
to you, and it was like, oh, we'll come full table, nobody's
You
here.
don't drink the
I'm like,
coffee, cause I made it and I cannot
Well.
guarantee what that
Yeah.
coffee is like.
All right, wait, do I have a motion to
No,
close?
no, I
Oh,
just,
no, that's
um,
that's not part of the meeting, is it? Yeah,
no, it's not.
right, no, I'm saying,
Okay.
okay, motion to close the meeting, or adjourn the meeting?
I will re-adjourn the meeting.
That's-
Wait a minute, who's doing what?
Larry is
Yeah.
motion.
And-
10:37.
Okay.
Okay.
At 10:37 a.m.
Thank you.
Okay, we're done, sorry.